You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. We're going to need some good vibes, but we also got some good vibes because the Nuggets take a loss to the Knicks, and the Knicks get a win. Let's get it. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Rode PodMic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with zero lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So the Nuggets faced the Knicks tonight and took a loss. Ended up being a loss of 145 to 118. a 27-point loss, almost 30 points. Pretty much rounded up to 30 points. I know that's what a lot of the team is doing already. And as a Nuggets-Knicks fan, I'm very upset at the Nuggets. As a Knicks fan, I'm very happy for the Knicks. It's a very conflicted time for me right now. Usually is during these games. But for the most part, I usually always vibe more for the Nuggets because being a Coloradan, gotta support the home team. But you gotta give the Knicks props tonight. They came out really wanting a win. They played hard for a win. Part of that is also because Thibodeau really likes to play his starters more than anything. And so when you play that starting unit almost 48 minutes, like you're going to get a high scoring outcome out of it. And lucky for them that they were able to hold off the Nuggets, and also lucky for them that the Nuggets just kind of seemed like they didn't really care about tonight. So we'll get into it. My first takes of the game is that the Nuggets finally debuted their new season city edition uniforms. I appreciate the intention of these uniforms. They have a very unique take on the rainbow city line that it has been a tradition for the Nuggets, and it kind of looks like an elevation map or whatever. Where I just think that they're really basic. There's way too much white on them. Like they're pretty much white, but then with the mountains on the side, and then with the 5280 on the top. And the Nuggets branding department is really going hard on the 5280. Being a Coloradan, like it's kind of a cool fact that it's a Mile High city, but at the same time, like it's really nothing. And it's kind of annoying that they're really hammering in the 5280, especially when no one else understands what 5280 is. Like you see that all the time on social media. What is 5280? And like, I would rather them create a jersey, and they need to, with Maxey on the jersey. Like I'm just waiting for that jersey. That would be a kick-ass jersey. I'm not gonna lie. The Knicks, they were in their blue uniforms, not the darker blue, but the light blue uniforms. The Nuggets starters tonight were Peyton Watson, who was on a watch for tonight. He was questionable, but he played, as well as MPJ, Christian Brown, Jokić, and Jamal Murray. The Knicks starters was Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns, who was also questionable before this as well. He actually sat out the previous game for them, and I guess he really wanted to play against Jokić. And I don't know if he'll be playing in the next game because he played most of this game and he was feeling a little tense, hurt at the end there. So who knows? Maybe he'll be out in the next game. But the first quarter, the Knicks controlled the tap, and CB ended up getting the first bucket of the game, though. Mikal Bridges was made the first bucket for the Knicks, and that was kind of a response to CB's bucket. And Peyton Watson went for a goaltending offense, and then immediately went for an offensive charge. Gave the Knicks a turnover, a couple turnovers there to get them up by 3. Brunson, he's been doing, had a good night again tonight, and he at one point got an uncontested 3 to bring the Knicks up to 4, followed by Bridges, who got a dunk, brought it up to 6, and it just consistently, you saw the game slowly, or not even slowly, like fairly quickly getting away from the Nuggets. Strother got the ball tapped out of his hands, and Jokić was the only Nugget to track down the ball. This was during a Nuggets possession in this first quarter here that he was getting hounded pretty quick, fairly hard by the defense, and they tapped the ball away, and then you saw it go down on the other side of the court, and because it was tapped, the offense can get the ball, right? And no one else tracked down the ball. It was only Jokić. Jokić was the only one still active, trying to get still sticking with the play. And so he brought it, and then he tried to shoot, didn't make it. So he actually stuck with the play still, tried to shoot again, but then missed. But it was just kind of nice to see at least one of our team members, the Nuggets members, actually sticking with the play and trying to make a basket, because, like, I don't know where anyone else's mind was. It didn't seem like they was in Denver with them right now. Brunson then sticks a 3 to get the Knicks up to a 9-point lead. And then he sinks another 3, bringing it up to 12. The Knicks end the quarter winning 36-24. And then the second quarter comes in, which, because again, the Knicks controlled the tap, so Nuggets get the second and third quarter starts. Nuggets, though, get out to a horrible start. MPJ with a 3 and a jumper, but not enough, as the Knicks keep taking uncontested 3s. I'm not joking. They got several uncontested 3s. Like, they almost got to a point where, like, the Nuggets would just hang back, watch them take a 3 after they already saw them sink 4 other back-to-back 3s. They would just continue to let them sink other 3s. The Nuggets looked not ready to compete tonight. That, for one. Cat sank a 3 to get the lead up to 21, and this is in the second quarter. MPJ finally sinks a 3 to end their 11-0 run, and then he also gets another 3, but then McBride answers back with a 3 to keep the lead at 20. Murray started to show signs that he actually was getting fired up and really wanting to, play a little harder. And he actually had one of his better nights tonight. I think some would still argue that it wasn't a good night for him, but I think in the new Murray standards, it was a better night for him. He made a layup plus an and one, and then Cat responds, plowing through a double team between Jamal and MPJ, making a shot and getting an and one. Jokić at one point loses the ball for OG to get the bucket and the lead back to 19. The Knicks win the second quarter 40-29, and they go into the second half 76-53, and they get a franchise record of most assists in the first half with 23 assists. So glad that the Nuggets were able to give the Knicks a little history breaking record there for them. But So then the third quarter starts. Nuggets started off with Jamal going to the foul line, makes 1 of 2. And OG, like I said, he had himself a night tonight. Banks a 3 to get him to 38 points. At that point, he actually ended the night with 40 points. The Knicks win the third quarter, 37-34. So the Nuggets, did battle back a little harder in that, but it just still wasn't enough because they were already down by 23 points at the half. So if you come back and are pretty much even with the other team in the third quarter, you're still going to be 20 points behind. You need to have a 20-0 run to, catch back up. And they just didn't have that. They had enough gas to keep it relatively even throughout. And then there was enough Knicks fans there at the game that you heard them chant several times. Several times for Anunoby. They kept on chanting Anunoby. They also were chanting "Let's go Knicks." It almost felt like it was Madison Square Garden. The Knicks are starting to have a reputation of packing other opposing arenas to make it feel like it's a Knicks home game. And as good as the Knicks played tonight, it kind of felt like they were the home team. And I almost want to say that they were the Denver Knicks. Then the fourth quarter started. Knicks started off with a 2-point jumper from McBride. The Nuggets get an offensive foul, turning the ball over. Nuggets then lose all energy and effort in the game. Malone pulled out Jokić and Jamal. They didn't even play the fourth quarter. Like, that's how bad things were. Like, he already raised the white flag and brought in the second unit, played the fourth quarter. And like I said before, Tibbs doesn't do that. He plays the starters more than any other coach in the league. As much as I love the Knicks, gotta say, I am not a huge Tibbs fan. I don't hate him. I don't love him, though. And the part of the fact that I don't love him is that fact that he plays his starters for so long. And it is, I would argue, one of the main reasons why they haven't gone to the conference finals, because they are too beat up by the time you even get to the conference finals to even, make a valiant effort. They tried really hard this last season, but they were just too beat up. You had Brunson with several injuries, especially with his left hand. OG Anunoby last season was beat up. You had broken ribs with Josh Hart, and Randall was out at that time when he was still with the Knicks. I think Precious Achiuwa was dealing with stuff. Like, that's all from playing nonstop for almost 48 minutes a game for 82 games. Like, that is going to catch up to you. And so that's one big issue with Tibbs that I just do not agree with. And I think that several other professional coaches would agree with that too. And that's probably why they don't do the same thing. So the Knicks are the first ones to 100. They actually got to 100 in the third quarter. But then they keep battling back. Towns is still in the fourth quarter after coming back from an injury. He's still in. You would think that he was on a minutes watch, but he wasn't. And then the Knicks at this point get the lead up to 30. The Nuggets just looked frustrated and weren't communicating well. DeAndre Jordan even ripped his jersey at one point. Like, it was not a good night for the Nuggets at all. I would blame the jerseys. They need to just get rid of that uniform. Try again. Maybe put a maxi on there. I think maxi would elevate their motivation a little bit more. I think that's what really needs to happen. Brodie, though, he had a good night. He had a really good night. He didn't get a double-double or a triple-double, but he did make the most points for the Nuggets, and he kept on battling. Despite there being a 30-point deficit, he was one of the few Nuggets to still act like, there's still a chance, keep on fighting, and I really love that about Brodie, and I'm becoming more and more of a Brodie fan every game. I'm really, I wasn't this big with him. Like he was, I respected him and everything, but I didn't really truly understand why his fans love him so much, despite him going to other teams and everything. Until now, when he's on the Nuggets team, I really I like his mentality. I like the way that he owns himself. He doesn't apologize for anything about himself. He is who he is, and he just wants to be that. And so I dig that a lot. And so he still keeps on battling back. He gets the Nuggets to 100. So the Nuggets weren't held under 100. So it's not as embarrassing as it could have been. Like they could have easily have embarrassed us even more, keeping us to under 100 while they're still like way over 100, but they didn't. Brodie got us to 100 with back-to-back threes. He seemed like he was carrying the Nuggets for the fourth quarter. He racked up 27 points, and it was around that time that Malone was like, you know what, let's take you out, and let's just really make the rest of the bench, the second unit, work hard and try to earn spots. And it kind of felt like it was definitely, trial by fire tonight for the second unit, and just really making them, try to show that they actually care and that they can do this stuff. Because the weird thing is that, Jokić is like close to 30 years old. Brodie is already over 30 years old. So those two are the oldest players, I think, besides DeAndre Jordan on that team. And they were the ones that cared the most in this game. Everyone else, you had, Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, I think all these young kids on there, not hustling, not caring, getting very lazy. And they're the younger ones. They're the ones that should have the most energy over the older vets. And yet the vets were the ones that were showing most energy. So that was it's kind of a little frustrating when you see that, to be honest. You want to see the younger guys really have good energy and really wanting to show something, and just these games of like nothing coming up, just really like, what are we doing here then? Why are you even a basketball player if you don't care to bring that energy in every game? It can't just be against the Lakers. Like, we can't just have this desire to win when it's only the Lakers. I love when we beat the Lakers, but we just can't, it's not, the season isn't the Lakers. And right now it feels like the season is the Lakers for the Nuggets. They only care when they're playing the Lakers. So, and possibly the Celtics. Like, those are the only two that the team itself cares. Malone cares about every single game. But these younger kids, they just don't really seem to have a lot of drive and fire behind them that you see, like younger kids on the other teams, like Jalen Green in the Houston Rockets. He has so much fire behind him. He is striving every single time to get better and better and better. And then you have, Brandon Miller, Melo, both on the Hornets. They have drive. Like, where is the drive for the young Nuggets? They need to bring that up. It's getting infuriating, and well, I can understand why Malone was so hot tonight when he took the post game interview, press conference. The Knicks, again, like I said, they still played the starters. He played the starters until there was 2 minutes and 19 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter. Like, that's how long the starters played. Ridiculous. It's really annoying. The Knicks win the fourth quarter, 32-31, and then they again win 145-118. So, hey everyone, if you're looking for a game-changing webcam that keeps up with every move, you've got to check out the Insta360 link. It's a 4K AI-powered webcam that auto-tracks so you're always in frame, even if you're moving around. Perfect for live streams, meetings, content creating, also podcasts. It adjusts to light, zooms in and out, and follows you naturally. This is hands-free, hassle-free, studio-quality production for anyone who wants professional visuals right from the desk. Insta360 Link is a total game changer. So let's get into the stats here. Michael Porter Jr. played 33 minutes tonight, 18 points, 10 rebounds. So he was the only Nugget tonight who got a double-double. And then he was 7 for 17 field goals, 3 for 7 and 3 points, 1 for 1 in free throws. He had 2 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, was a minus 13. Peyton Watson, 22 minutes, 6 points. He had 0 rebounds, 0 steals, and 0 blocks. That is not Peyton Watson. And so I kind of feel like that probably is part of the fact that maybe he shouldn't have played tonight because he was questionable with an abductor issue. And so if that's an issue, maybe just don't play tonight. I know that he's a big part of right now covering where we need, the Aaron Gordon spot covered. But if that's going to be the case, play one of the other guys for tonight. Maybe it would have been a little better if Peyton Watson hadn't played tonight. And then he was 2 for 4 in field goals, 0 for 1 in 3 points, 2 for 2 in free throws. The one good thing about tonight, I'll say, is that our free throws was near perfect. So one of the best nights for 3 free throws. He had 1 turnover and 2 personal fouls. He was a minus 18. Nikola Jokić played 31 minutes, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. So he did actually almost make a triple-double, but just wasn't there. If the guys had made their shots, he would have easily have at least had a double-double. But guys weren't making their shots tonight. He had 1 steal, 9 for 20 in field goals, 2 for 7 in three-pointers, 2 for 2 in free throws, 0 turnovers tonight for him, 1 personal foul, and he was a minus 20 tonight. Him and Julian Strawther were the worst minuses tonight. You can't compare it really to a Zeke Naji or a Hall or something like that because they only played like 3 minutes, whereas Jokić played 33 minutes. But still, for him to be a minus 20, he was kind of a little bit of the problem tonight. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but he did not have his best night tonight. It was unfortunate. And then also another starter who didn't have their best night tonight, probably their worst game so far of the season, was Christian Braun. However, he played 32 minutes tonight, and he did still make double-digit in points with 14. So he's still being very consistent on making at least over 10 points a game. And he had 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal. He was one of 3 blocks for the Nuggets. He was 5 for 10 in field goals. He shot 4 for 4 in free throws, 1 turnover, and he was a minus 13. Jamal Murray played 30 minutes, made 20 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal. He was 6 for 13 in field goals, 1 for 5 in three-pointers, 7 for 9 in free throws. Had 0 turnovers and 1 personal foul. He was also a minus 13. So he didn't have his high number of turnovers that he's been having. He didn't have any turnovers, so that's amazing. He had 20 points. In the new Jamal era now that we're at, where we aren't expecting him to shoot 28 points or 30 points a night, 20 points, that's a decent night, I'd say. So, and I won't go into much of the bench. I'll review here. Westbrook, he was in for 25 minutes, made 27 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He was 9 for 16 for field goals, 4 for 7 in three-pointers, 5 for 5 in free throws, 3 turnovers, 1 personal foul, was a minus 16. So, and then because I love also the Knicks, we're going to read the Knicks stats here. So the Knicks stats. Anunoby played 37 minutes, made 40 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 1 block, 16 for 23 in field goals, 5 for 7 in three-pointers, 3 for 3 in free throws, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls with a plus 21. Josh Hart played 27 minutes, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 5 for 5 in field goals, 1 for 1 in three-pointers, 1 for 1 in free throws. So he made everything. Everything that he shot, he made tonight. He had 1 turnover and 5 personal fouls. He almost fouled out, but he was a plus 13. Then you have Kat, who was in there for 33 minutes, having just come back from an injury. He was in for 33 minutes tonight. Ridiculous. 30 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 12 for 15 in field goals, 2 for 2 in three-pointers, 4 for 6 in free throws. He had 4 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, was a plus 21 as well. So he got a double-double. Mikal Bridges played 36 minutes, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 for 16 in field goals, 2 for 8 in three-pointers. He had 0 turnovers and 1 personal foul, was a plus 18. Then we get to my man Brunson, Jalen Brunson here. Played 37 minutes, just 10 minutes shy of the entire game. He had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 17 assists. That's like a Jokić number there. 17 assists. 8 for 14 in field goals, 4 for 5 in three-pointers, 3 for 3 in free throws, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a plus 19. So overall, we have Denver Nuggets had 33 rebounds to the New York 43. We had 23 assists to their 45. 23 assists to their 45. The Nuggets had 5 steals to their 5 steals, so we averaged out the same amount of steals. 3 blocks to their 4 blocks. We were 44% from the field. They were 60% from the field. We were 33% beyond the arc. They were 52% beyond the arc. We were 92% at the foul line. They were 87% at the foul line. And that is mainly because of Towns. Towns was the one that really brought them down in that. And then we had 11 turnovers to their 9 turnovers, 18 personal fouls to their 23. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nanlite. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting, or vibrant colors, Nanlite gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nanlite has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers, like myself, videographers, like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out their fingertips. With Nanlite, you're lighting like a pro every time. Was tonight possible to win for the Nuggets? 100%. You just, other than the assists and the rebounds, everything else there was there had they actually made their shots and if they actually communicated better to block to get some stops on the other end. That didn't happen. The Nuggets were not there to play. It's plain and simple, they were not there to play. If they had been and they were actually focused on making shots, this would have been a better game. This could have been a closer game. But, they're going to have some of these games. I mean, you would think, the thing is, last season, the Nuggets lost to the Knicks in Madison Square Garden by 45 points. And as a Knicks fan and a Nuggets fan, I'm more okay with that happening at Madison Square Garden than for the Knicks to win in Denver by 30. Like, that's just, you want your home team to play hard. And the Nuggets just didn't play hard tonight. So the big takeaways from tonight's game is that this was a bad game for Yoke, and it was a decent game for Jamal. But both were actually called out by Malone for lack of leadership. So there is definitely an issue of leadership on the Nuggets right now. Brodie seems to be the only one leading the team with leadership and energy, but it's not enough. You got to have the main guys, the big four. You need leadership from Jokić. You need leadership from Jamal. You need leadership from MPJ. He had a double-double, but where's his fire? Where's his leadership? He's one of the main guys, one of the more vet guys on the team. Why isn't he also showing up? You have Christian Braun. It's his third year. He's finally a starter. Why isn't he showing up tonight? Like, the only one that you can really give a tip your hat to from the Nuggets is Brodie. He really, the fact that he kept at it, even though they were down 30, he kept at it. And there was times where Jokić could have done that too. He had a little bit of that in the beginning, but then I felt like when he started to see everyone else start to slow down, he started to slow down. So it was just kind of a train wreck right now for the Nuggets. Not the same Nuggets that we saw facing the Lakers. And again, the Lakers cannot be the only season for the Nuggets. We need them to step up against other teams. And so big, just kind of like slap of reality for the Nuggets tonight. They have to own up to this. They have to get better. This is going to be an up and down thing. I'm sure we'll probably be happier when they face the Utah Jazz on Wednesday, and hopefully they will get a win. I know it's been statistically difficult for them to win in Utah. They did break that. I think they had like a 4-year or 6-year stint of not winning in Utah that they finally broke last year. So hopefully they continue that. But, the good sign tonight is that Brodie has been showing more consistent, good energy, good overall stats, especially being from the bench. Like, we need some good players on the bench, so it's nice to see that from him. But there just seems to be this consistent pattern of starting off with lack of energy in games. We are now a 5-4 home team, and when we are rated as the most difficult home advantage, that is not acceptable to be 5-4 at home. We ended last season 20-5. So, to have only 5 losses last season, and now we're at already 4 losses so far, and we're already close to December now. That's just completely unacceptable. So they need to turn around especially their energy for home games. Like, if you lose it on the road, it happens. The good for the home team there. They keep their home record, or they get their home record better. But for our home record, we need to be better at home. We cannot let an opposing team come in and act like they're the home team. So that's about all I got for this episode. There's a chance that I may not be doing some of these episodes for the next, a week and a half. I'll be doing some travel here and there and getting really busy with work and stuff. So there might be a chance that I won't be able to have time to do some of these. If that's the case, then I'll be back for when the Nuggets face the Washington Wizards on December 7th. So hopefully I'm able to get out a couple episodes here and there before then, but if not, I will definitely see you then. And please, if you liked this episode, give it a like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the effort. Almost to 100 subscribers, so would love to have you subscribe to me and follow me. And share it out to your friends and family as well. So you've been watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. I'll catch you later.